welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I'm very pleased to introduce to you a friend of mine. I have with me Gina Van Leuven, and she is the owner of Younique Nutrution. Gina, welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. And I met Gina almost about a year ago, and I was so impressed by the information that she had to share with me, and thought I would let you guys take advantage of the wonderful content she has to share. So first off, tell me about Younique Nutrution and what got you into starting this, I guess, unique, you could say, business when it comes to wellness. What got you into that?
Well, Younique Nutrition is a website, and then what I do is offer wellness tips that support your mind, body, and soul. So it's taking the whole person approach. Most people come to me because they need help with their diet, but understanding that what we call primary food, relationships, career, spirituality, self-esteem, physical activity, all those things have an impact on your overall health and well-being. And so that's what I do. So whether it's through the website, Younique Nutrition, offering tools, tips, tidbits, things like that, or through personal coaching, that's basically what I do. So I always say I'm helping to create healthy, happy human beings. And that's really my goal. I got started in it because of my own health issues and the health issues of my son. He had very chronic attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. We know that as ADHD. And he was 3, and I just did a bunch of research, completely changed the way we were eating, and within a matter of weeks, those symptoms had disappeared. I thought, oh my goodness, this is miraculous, but it's not. It's just a matter of getting back to the basic fundamentals of health and well-being. And then while I was helping him, I was helping myself. So I had things like asthma, allergies. I had a lot of chronic digestive issues. I had heartburn, acid reflux. I was developing ulcers. I had really bad tendonitis in my jaw. I had arthritis. I had a lot of female issues. I could go on. And these things started to disappear. And I got really passionate about trying to help people remove the disease that's in their life. And so that's what got me on the path. So I left my corporate job, and here I am.
And I love stories like that, leaving your corporate job and going to something that you love and that you're passionate about. And it's so wonderful that you have that connection, like with your son and even yourself. You saw those changes. And so one of the things we're going to talk about today is incorporating more vegetables into your diet, because like you were saying, I mean, food is such an integral part of feeling better. So what is it about vegetables that I think some of us have a hard time intaking, or even kids? A lot of times these are not a main part of their daily meals. What's the problem here?
Well, I think people are afraid of vegetables. They think that they're going to taste awful, and a lot of times they do. And I think of how I grew up on a lot of canned food, and it's no wonder why kids don't like vegetables when they eat things that aren't fresh, even frozen. Huge difference in flavor between frozen and fresh. And people always ask me, what about the nutritional value? And it's pretty much the same in frozen as it is in fresh. And sometimes it can actually be better in frozen because they freeze it once it's picked. So as soon as you pick the produce, it starts losing its nutritional value. So frozen can actually be better nutrition-wise, but taste is hugely different. The only thing I eat frozen are peas and corn. Everything else I buy fresh, and it tastes a lot better. So a lot of it's in the preparation. You know, are you steaming, boiling, sautéing, eating raw, roasting, grilling? They all bring out different flavors in the vegetables. And so I think it's partially preparation, the seasoning that's used. There's all kinds of different herbs and spices out there that can change the flavor as well.
So you named a bunch of ways that you can prepare vegetables. You mentioned that you can get just as much nutritional value out of frozen vegetables as you can just freshly picked in some ways. But what is the best preparation way that allows you to get the most nutritional value?
That's a great question, because there's a lot of raw foodies out there, and they're probably going to be mad at me for saying this, but the truth is there's more nutrition in raw food. The problem with eating raw is a lot of times we don't have the enzymes to break it down. And so when you slightly cook them, it makes them a little more digestible. So those people who are trying to do the raw food thing and are having problems, that's probably why. So it's good to have a blend of raw and cooked.
So maybe just steam it a little bit?
Steaming or just, I usually just saute a little bit. It just kind of breaks it down. And that way you can add some healthy fats in there. People are afraid of fat too, and fat is actually more important than our nutrients. And you can add nice quality extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil to your vegetables, which add flavor, and then you get those healthy fats as well. When you steam, obviously you don't get the healthy fats unless you drizzle them on after, which is a great thing as well. As far as getting more into your diet other than preparation, I often tell people to hide them. Hide them in, but
from
not
yourself or
not
from your
yourself, and not under the
well,
mashed
I trick
potatoes.
myself. I'll blend it in my smoothies, so I don't really know I'm eating it.
That's a great idea.
So,
That's a great idea. But even like making spaghetti sauce, for example, and we make our own, but adding whatever you have in your refrigerator, we do, spinach or kale or chard or something like that, turnip, peppers, onions. We saute them before we put them in. It makes them a little more digestible and kind of breaks down that bitterness of the peppers and the onions when you saute them first. But you don't really notice the vegetables if you chop them up finely. If you don't mind the coarseness of coarsely chopped vegetables, it's not a problem. But sometimes adults, but definitely children, have texture issues. And when they can see the vegetables or they can feel them, then they don't like them. So I say, well, throw them in a blender and then pour them in there, and you don't even know that they're there.
Oh, that's a great idea. So, that's just one. What are some other tips? I mean, I guess on a daily schedule, say we'll use just as a woman in general, what should your vegetable intake be like throughout the day? Is there a time of day where it's not as good to eat them, like early in the morning? Should you just make sure you're eating them all day? I mean, there's so many things I've read and heard, but what would you recommend is the best way to keep these in your daily diet?
Well, as far as servings are concerned, they say, eat like 5 to 6 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, and people are confused by that. Well, what's a serving? And we're all different and need different amounts, different sizes. And so I use my hands, since nobody carries measuring cups and measuring spoons with them. And so I use my hands. And we all have hands that are roughly the proportion of our body, so it's a really good measurement tool. So I say 2 handfuls of vegetables at least twice a day, and you're going to meet your minimum.
Okay.
And I think it's a little more difficult for breakfast in America. We typically eat sweeter things.
What
like an omelet.
Yeah, omelet, enchilada. An omelet.
Or an enchilada.
That would work too.
That would work. That's a great place to hide vegetables too, is
that's
enchiladas.
a good one.
We make Mexican food. You blow lots of things in there, and but the 2 handfuls, if you can do 2 handfuls for lunch and dinner, and then maybe have a piece of fruit as a morning snack or something if you haven't had fruit or vegetable for breakfast. But berries are a great thing to put in your cereal. They're great antioxidants. Or having an apple, a banana, a peach, a mango, something like that is a nice snack in the morning or afternoon if you don't feel like you've had enough.
And that's another big question for me. I'm at work or I get hungry and you want to grab like sweets or carbs just because to get you going, and that's what you might crave. What are some vegetable recommendations you would have? I mean, ways that you could prepare vegetables to bring with you to work where you're not going to be able to go home and prepare it. What are some easy and accessible ways that you can use vegetables daily when you're away from home?
That's a great question. There's some vegetables that taste good raw, baby carrots, sugar snap peas. You can do broccoli, asparagus, things like that. But I find if you blanch them, which is you take boiling water and then you throw the cut vegetables in there for like 2 minutes, and then you take them out and put them in ice cold water so it stops the cooking. That's just barely enough cooking to make it a little more digestible. They're still crisp. They have actually more flavor. It increases the sweetness of it, but it takes that bitterness out that some of the vegetables have, that kind of bite that raw vegetables have. It takes that out, and just throw them in a container and take them to work with you. They last about a week, so you can do your blanching on Saturday or Sunday, prepare for the week, and then just take them with you in a little container.
And along with that, you say these last about a week, and do they still maintain their nutritional value? If you after you say you were to blanch them and keep some in a case in your fridge, would they last
That's
nutritional-wise,
a
or
good
would it
question.
gradually
I don't know
decrease?
exactly how much decreases over time.
they're still good.
But yeah, like I said, as soon as you pick it, when you get the vegetables to your table, by the time it's gone through the whole production and through the supermarket and to your table, it's probably been about 3 weeks and has lost 50 to 75% of its nutrition.
By the time
believe
it's
it or
in the
not.
grocery store already.
Which is why you should buy local. Buy
local.
local.
A good push to do that for sure. All those farmers markets out there. So
Yeah.
some wonderful tips. Before I ask you some other general health questions, anything else to add about vegetables?
Just try to eat more of them. I know that it can be difficult when you're not used to eating them, but if you make a goal to have one more a day, one more serving a day, whether it's a piece of fruit or a serving of vegetables on the side, just focus on that one goal, and when that becomes a habit, then adding another goal and another and another, then you can incorporate it versus trying to do I've got to do all this, and then it gets troublesome and then you stop doing it altogether. So just do one thing at a time.
Good advice, because as we all know, when we try and take something all in all at once, try and do everything, it becomes too overwhelming and then we drop it altogether. At least that's what I do sometimes. So
Me
some
too.
great tips
We're all
with that.
human. It's a human thing.
Oh, some excellent advice there. So just generally speaking, and the clients that you've worked with, and in the experiences that you've had in eating healthy and sharing that information with others, you explained how you have felt and how your son has felt in eating healthier. What have some of your friends and family and clients that you've worked with, what have they been saying about this new healthier lifestyle that you've taught them?
Oh goodness, so I get all types of people, from someone who's already healthy and they just want to make sure that they're on the right path to staying healthy, to the person who has been through cancer treatment, to people that have a myriad of different health issues. Most of the people I work with have one or more health issues. So watching them go through this process of reducing or eliminating these symptoms is absolutely fantastic. And I have a couple of, I guess I would call my favorite stories. One that I'll share. Recently I worked with someone that was in their mid-20s and very overweight and had diabetes, on diabetes medication at 24. That's very, very young. And within 4 months, she had dropped 45 pounds and was off her diabetes medication. And she was very compliant, though. She was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm dedicated to doing this. And it's been, let's see, it's been seven or 8 months since I stopped working with her, and she's dropped a little bit more weight. She's maintaining, she's eating healthy, she likes eating healthy. It's become a new way of life. She enjoys that new way. It's not like she's ping-ponging back and forth. And I think that's really important when you go on a diet. It's on and off, on and off. And when I work with people, we incorporate these changes over a long period of time, and just doing a little bit at a time kind of tricks your body into accepting what we're doing versus, you have to eat this, this, and this, and don't eat that, that, and that, and then your body goes into rebellion. And that's what we don't want. We want your body to accept what we're trying to do. You go, oh, okay, I like this. This is good. This is good for our body. And so your mind and body are connected in that, and that's where she's at. She's connected and feeling good about what she's eating, and it's become a new way of life for her. So that's one of my favorite stories.
Oh, that's such a wonderful
more recent
success story to share. Thank you. So if people are interested in working with you in that way and dropping those pounds and eating healthier and feeling good about it, where can they go to get more information about you?
You can always call me. The number is 435-565-2062. 435-565-2062. And then my website is Younique Nutrution, but it's spelled uniquely. It's YOUNIQUE. So put the word yo in front of Younique and you've got it, uniquenutrition.com.
There you have it. And you also do workshops, individual consultations. So just in the last couple of seconds we have, tell me what else you offer, what someone can expect if they visit your site.
I'm actually working on a self-paced program that people can go through and watch the videos, and then there's follow-up sessions in that for people that can't afford to work one-on-one with me. And I am just finishing up a program called Shape Up Showdown through Earthwell Festival, which is coming up at the end of this month. And we're going to be announcing the winners. So it's a competition. We have myself and then another team leader that we're leading a group of people. And it was not just about weight loss, it's about overall wellness. So we had certain metrics that we're measuring on, and we get to announce the winner in a few weeks at the Earthwell Festival, so I'm really excited about that. And then we'll be repeating that for people who are interested in shaping up. We're going to be repeating that as well.
That's so wonderful. Well, Gina, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. I'm going to use some of those tips that you were telling us about vegetables, because I think no matter what, you can always use more vegetables. So thank you so much for everything and for the work you're doing. It was a pleasure having you on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And we'll be right back here with more on the Mountain Morning Show. We'll be talking with Catherine Luckett with Collarbone.